As discussed the other day, requirements modeling can be done using activity diagrams. Right? Requirements can done using activity diagrams, use case diagrams, and wireframes. Right? So today now we are going to see about how to do with activity diagrams. Okay. So what is the difference between activity diagram and a use case diagram? What does activity diagram describes? Application flow or steps involved in that particular application. Okay. Use case diagram. It describes how the user should access the application. Okay. So basically, user should describe the activity diagram describes, right, the application flow, and use case diagram describes the user access. Okay. So wireframes are the screen markers. Right? So let us take an example. Use case for activity diagram. Right. So the use case here is a student using a library application. Okay. Application wanted to block a book for a particular day. Okay. So this is the use case. Okay. Which we need to describe in the form of activity diagram, right? This is the requirement. Okay. So what continuation if book is not available on that day, display a message. Okay. Some custom message. If book is available, right? Send an email to the student after completing the booking, after completing the process. Okay. So this is the requirement. What is the requirement here? A student using a library application wanted to wanted to block a book for a particular day. Okay. If book is not available on that day, display a message. If book is available, then send an email to a student after completing the process. So now we have to describe or we have to showcase this requirement in the form of activity diagram. Okay. So let us use this tool. Okay. So this is a free tool which we can use for activity diagrams and use case diagrams. Okay. So I'll ping this app application name in the WhatsApp group. You can make a use of that, right? So you can see all the elements here. Basically, we use MS Visio in offices, but MS Visio is a paid version. Okay. So this is free version which we can use for your practice. And the same elements what you're seeing here are available in MS Visio also. Okay, so you can use the same elements over here too, right? So now to draw this activity diagram, okay, to draw this activity diagram for this requirement, what all we need is, what are the elements we use is, right? So this is the element, this is one element we use, this is one element we use, right? And so these are the four elements which are mainly used in activity diagram. Okay. So this
Sorry,
is,
Shrika, how do we know which wants to select? How do we know?
I'll tell you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So this is used to represent the process involved in the application. Okay. So whenever you have some process involved in the application, or whenever you have a functionality, we have to use this box to describe it. Okay. So this is used to okay. So this arrow mark is used to represent the flow of the process. Okay. So how the application should flow, in which direction, where this arrow mark is used. And this is used for to represent the start and end of the process. Okay. So when you start the process, you use this one, and when you end the process also, we use this one, right? And this is used to take a decisions, right? Whenever there should be a decision needed by the system, like right or wrong, yes, true or false, this we have to use this one, right? So this is used to, basically this is called a decision box. Okay. So this is used to take decision by the system. Okay. So this is to take decisions by the system, right? Now using these elements, we will draw the activity diagram for this use case, or for this example. Okay. So let us see that, right? Let me go to another sheet. Okay. So I'll start the process with this. Okay. Okay. So what is the first step? A student using a library application wanted to block a book for the particular day. Okay. So before that, student should log in into the application. Right, log in into the application, key in the login details. Right. So what happens once you log in the details? So if you want to log in into any application, once you key your user ID and password, what system does?
So then when you log in, then the system will go and search. You type what you want to search, then it'll go and search it for you.
Mhm. So before that, system will verify whether the login details are correct or not. Right.
Okay.
Right. So that is where system has to take a decision to allow you to access the application or not. Right. System has to take a decision whether you have entered the correct password or correct login details or not. Right. So if student entered the right password, two steps here, right? So user entered incorrect password and user did not enter in the correct password, right? So if user did not enter the right login credentials, okay. So let us assume user did not key in the right login details. Again, system has to refresh and go back to login page. Okay. Incorrect login details, right? If student enter the correct login details, proceed it further steps, right? So if student enter the correct login details, search for the book, okay. Right. Yeah. Search for the book. To the book for the particular day. Okay. So once you select the book for a particular day, what happens? Again, what happens again?
Available or not available?
Correct. Right. Again, system has to take a decision whether book is available or book is not available, right? If book is available, proceed with further steps. If book is not available, right? If book is not available, again redirect the page to the so this is some time taking activity. Since in real time also it is time taking activity. We get ample time for requirements documenting. Okay. Okay. Again, redirect this to, or else we can put it here. We'll do one thing. So if book is not available, book is not available, it will redirect that to the search page. Okay. If book is available, then proceed to the further steps, right? Select the date to block the book. Okay. Book available. Okay, select the date to block the date. Again, system has to take a decision here whether that book is available on that particular day or not. Okay. So if book is not available on that particular day, we can end the process. Oh, sorry, we have to display a validation message. All right, that is the requirement, right? What is the requirement? If book is not available on that day, display a validation message. Okay. Validation is book is not available. Select another day or another date. Okay. Okay. If book is available, right, allow user to select the date, right, and system has to send an email. Okay. So once system sends the email to user, it will end the, we have to end the process, right? Because that cycle is completed, right? Booking is completed. So here,
Shrika, is this one just or one campus? If they have like 2 different campuses or 3 or libraries, so is this one campus or for the whole 3 or 4 campuses?
correct, this is only for one campus.
Okay.
Okay. So you can end the process here also. Right. So this is how we have to describe a requirement in activity diagram, right? So by looking at this activity diagram, you are able to understand how the application will work.
So this one is for this is for technical teams, right? Or is it for the managers as well? Are you going to take this to both of them or just to the technical team?
What is that?
This diagram.
Who
is it for?
This is for development team, and this is also for the client.
Okay, so the client, you explain this to them.
No, we have to explain it to the client.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so any layman or any new person looking at this activity diagram can understand how the application will work, right? So without knowing the requirement also, any person looking at this activity diagram, looking at the steps involved here, can identify or can determine how the application will work, right? So that is the reason active requirements modeling is important, right? So yesterday we have seen the importance of requirements modeling and why it is and why they are required, right? So this is how we have to draw the activity diagram for any of the use cases. Got it? Or any questions here?
Yeah, it's good.
Others? Okay, so I'm assuming you guys have understood this, right? So this is a normal activity diagram. Okay.
Srikanth,
Hmm.
apart from these four pictorial designs, any other pictorial is needed?
Yes, I'm going to explain now.
Okay, fine.
Okay. So this is a normal activity diagram. Okay. Okay. So this is a normal activity diagram. We have one more diagram called swim lane diagram. Okay. We have one more activity called swim lane diagram. So swim lane diagram will represent the activities based on the department or based on the module. Okay. So let us say based on the actors. So let us say, so in this activity or in the same example, who are all the actors involved? Like actors in the sense, who are all the participants involved here? Who are all the characters?
The student.
Yeah. Student,
Librarian.
librarian, librarian,
Book.
book. No, book is not an actor, right?
College,
Librarian,
About the
Huh?
system.
college,
Then the-
college management.
college management. Okay, but the okay.
we have
And
a
like
system administrator. System administrator. Oh,
system admin can be a librarian.
okay.
Then library, application, database. Okay. So college management we can remove because librarian should be enough, right? So these are the three important or three actors who takes place in this particular access or in this particular activity, right? So we call these and them as actors. Okay, actors. So now let me show you how to draw this, right? So we use the same elements, but one additional element we use here. Let me show you that. Okay, so we use these boundaries. Expand this. Okay.
What do you call the swim lane?
Swim lane.
So okay, what do you call the swim lane?
swim lane is like, if you see, let me show you. I mean, you're asking why it is swim lane or what is swim lane?
What is it called swim lane?
Or your voice is breaking, Martin.
Sorry?
Your voice is breaking. Can you repeat your
No,
question?
no, I was just asking that why is it called swim lane?
Yeah. So if you see any, swimming pool, right? It has
Yeah.
lanes like differentiation, lane 1, lane 2.
Yeah.
If you see the swimming pool competition, right? So similarly, we also have the partitions over here, right?
Okay.
That's fine. Okay. So we use the similar same elements there also, right? So, but what we do is we will differentiate the process, right? Here student, right? Then it is library application database, then librarian, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we start, okay. Now, what is a student part of job? Key in the login details,
Login.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happens once user key is in the login details? What happens when you key in the login details?
You go into the application, then start the search.
Right? It will check whether the details are valid or not, right? So where does this activity take place? It will go into the database. Okay. So it will go into the database, verify if the login details are right or not. Verify if login details are right or wrong. Correct. So this is part of database activity. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if login details are correct, it will allow
to search the book.
User to search for the book. Okay. It will allow to search for the book. Okay. If book is not available, it will display validation, and right, then what else? It will proceed for the next step, right? It will ask the student to select the date. Okay. So again, what happens once you select the date? It will go into database,
Search the book.
right? Check if book is available on that particular day or not, right? If available,
confirm and send an email.
right? It will send an email, right? System will send email to the student after blocking the book. Okay.
Yeah.
So now, what is a librarian activity here? Okay, so if book is not available, okay, if search for the book, if book is not available, it will notify the librarian, right? It is the stating this book is not available, please upload into the database, right? Or
Mhm.
update the availability date, right? So 1 minute, huh? Okay, so let us say if this book is returned by the student to librarian after 1 week or after 10 days, right? So
Yeah.
this librarian has to update the system manually stating yes, this book is available for the further bookings, right? So that is the activity of librarian over here.
Shrika, where do you put fines? Where do you put fines? Late returns.
What is that?
Fines. If you return the book after a week, we charge you a certain fee.
Yeah, that is you can add anywhere in the flow, right? So once
Okay.
you have that requirement to add that, you are saying that delay fee, the fine which you impose if you delay the return.
Yeah.
So because this is a college, right? So this is free for use, right?
Mm.
So if you have any such requirement, you can put it over here, right? While you return the book, user has to send the details, right? So you can
Yeah.
add extension here, check the return date. If return date is within the stipulated time, right? End the
Yeah.
process or else impose a fine. You can add additional steps there.
Okay.
So these are the two diagrams. One is a normal activity diagram and one is a swim lane diagram. Okay. So any
Yeah.
questions here in swim lane diagram?
So do you need these two together in a project or just one?
Right. I was expecting this, right? So again, this is based on the client. Okay. So if client wanted you to draw a normal activity diagram, you can go with this activity diagram. Okay. If client wanted you to draw swim lane diagram, then go for this. Okay. But most of the clients would ask for a normal diagram. They don't ask for swim lane.
Okay.
Okay. Based on the client request.
Yeah.
Right. Then we have one more diagram called use case diagram. Okay. So here the elements what we use is we use this one, right, to represent or to describe the flow. Okay, and we use these actors. Okay, and this arrow marks direction or flow of the to describe the flow involved, right? So we majorly we use these three elements, right? So who are the actors here? Library student, librarian. Then other side of the application we have database, right? So now what a student can do in the application. So basically what is a use case diagram? Use case diagram will represent the how user will access the application, right? So what a student can do, student can log in into the application. Okay. What else after logging in they can search a book,
Search.
right? Select a date and block the book, right? So these are the three activities they can perform.
कुछ कर लो उनका
Search book,
select
select the date, block the.
कुछ कर लो उनका नंबर
So these are the three activities.
नहीं वो नहीं ये ना कोई कर लो बट पूरी तरह नहीं
Right. So these are the three activities student can perform, right? So what are the
Yeah.
things librarian can perform? Librarian, right? Librarian also can log in into the application. Okay. Add the book, right? Update the status of the book, right? So if book is outdated or it is not required, a librarian can delete the book. Okay, so these are the this is the level of access of a librarian. Right, so librarian can perform these three activities. Got it? So
Yeah.
since librarian is also an admin like of a person, he can also search, select, date and block the book, right? So we need not to represent these activities again here. We can use a normalization, right? So if you use this arrow mark here like this, okay, so what does this represent? This is normalizing the roles and responsibilities. This is normalizing the user access, right? So what does this represent? A librarian can also perform an activities what student is performing and also can perform these activities individually, right? So this representation of role access is called normalization. You guys understood?
Yeah.
Right now, so what is the role of a database here? Database will pass the information to and fro, right? So it will capture the information from the user activity and it will also give you some responses, right? So the information is flowing to and fro with regard to the database, right? So this is how we have to represent the user access using an use case diagram. Okay, so you see the difference here, right? So here it is mainly focused on the system flow, application flow, how the application should flow, what type of validations it should display, how it should behave if book is available, and how it should behave if book is not available. But use case diagram, it is representing what an actor can do in the application. All right, you see the difference here?
Yeah.
Right. Any questions here on this use case diagram? Okay.
Right.
So if not, I will add a case study in the Google Drive for these 3 activity diagrams, swim lane diagram and use case diagram. You guys can work on that. You guys can work on that too. Okay. So I hope you have seen the use case for the BRD and FRD. Now I will add an use case for this thing. Okay. So if you guys do not have any questions today, we can stop for the day. Okay. So tomorrow
But,
we'll meet again.
Sorry, Sika, so
Mm,
this, what we've done now, if we've got another system, today was a library, if we like, say a banking, for instance, a banking app or an e-commerce,
Right.
would
I
that
will
be
give
the
you the
same?
case study on banking or e-commerce. You can try to do that. If you are unable to do, then I will teach you in the class.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. So if you guys do not have any questions, we can drop for the day. We'll meet tomorrow again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone.